Hi, good afternoon everybody. I've just finished watching the budget speech and I just want to record you this short video just to go through one or two of the key points, the points that I think are most relevant to you guys. Of course, the devil, as always with these budget speeches, is in the detail and we don't know all the detail yet, but I'm going to share with you what I currently know and how I think it affects you as it stands. So it's also nice to start off with some good news. And the good news that came out of today's budget speech for me was that for the length of Parliament, corporation tax rates are going to stay the same as they are. Now, we all know they went up just over a year ago, and we're all just getting used to them, but it was reassuring to know that they aren't going to go up anymore. I'd have liked them to come down a little bit, however, they're not going to do that. They're going to stay the same rates that they are now for the length of the Parliament. So I think that at least gives us some certainty and helps us with forward planning. And when we're looking at our finances and our budgets for future years, we've got an idea about what the tax bills are going to look like off our growth plans, etc. Probably the big one for me, and the one that will affect everybody who's watching this video, is the changes to employers' NI. And there are three main changes that we need to be aware of. So, as it currently stands, you pay employers' NI on your workers' salaries. However, you don't pay anything for the first £9,100 that somebody earns. And then after they've earned £9,100, you pay 13.8% of whatever they earn over £9,100. Two things are changing there. First of all, the £9,100 is dropping down to £5,000. So you're going to be paying it on an earlier stage. And secondly, the rate goes up from 13.8% up to 15%. So you're going to actually be paying more anyway as a result of that. So I've worked out that on a salary of somebody earning £30,000 a year, that's going to cost you around £865 more in employers' NI. However, don't get upset yet, because the third change that they've introduced in employers' NI is to increase what they call the employment allowance. Now, at the minute, every qualifying business, which is probably virtually everybody who's watching this video, gets an allowance of £5,000 per year against their NI bill. We automatically apply that for you through the payroll, so you might not even know it exists, but it's there and we claim it for you wherever we can. That £5,000 is now increasing to £10,500. So that effectively means the first £10,500 of your employer's NI bill, you don't have to pay. The government will effectively give you a rebate against it. I can imagine, I've run this scenario on two different clients already since the budget speech finished. And in the first case, they were actually going to be slightly better off under the new regime, and in the second case they were going to be around £250–300 per year worse off, which isn't too bad. However, I'm sure you want to know exactly what it's going to be like for you. So what I've done to help is, down below this video in the body of the email, I've created an NI change calculator, and all you'll need to do is go onto the NI change calculator, put in your salaries, and it will tell you what your current NI bill is and what your NI bill will be under the new regime. So down below there's a link to the calculator, and there's also a link to a video that explains how to use the calculator. So go down there, have a look at that, bob your salaries in, and that'll explain to you the difference. So the next one that will affect some of you is national minimum wage is going up 6.7% next April. So for somebody over the age of 21, that's going from £11.44 an hour to £12.21. So we need to be aware of that. Again, lowering this email, I've put what all the new rates are for different age groups, etc. So just so everybody's aware of what they are. The next one that I think there was a lot of fuss about before the budget happened, and if I'm completely honest, this is nowhere near as bad as I expected, is the change to capital gains tax. And this comes in again from April next year. So the rates are going up, but they're not going up by as much as we expected. Basic rate is going from 10% to 18, higher rate is going from 20% to 24. Most people watching this video will have two types of assets that they're wanting to dispose of or are going to be disposed of at some point in the future. One will be your business and the second will be a second home somewhere. I appreciate other people have got other disposals, but they're the main two that clients talk to us about. So the disposal and property rates are staying the same as they are now, so they're not going up, which is brilliant news. The other main one is what happens when I sell my business. What's happening to those rates? Well, at the moment, if you sell your business, you pay a capital gains tax rate of 10% on the first £1 million of sale value that you get. Well, the £1 million allowance is staying, but the rates next April are going up from 10% to 14%. And then the year after, they're going up to 18%. So at the moment, if you sell your business for £1 million, you'll pay £100,000 tax on that. Next year, if you sold it at this point next year, you'll pay £140,000 in tax on it, and the year after it'll go up to £180,000. So there is an increase there, but it's nowhere near as bad as what we expected. We were thinking rates were going to go up to 30%, and they were going to scrap business asset disposal relief, so the lower rate tax on selling your business was going to go. So that's actually not as bad news as we expected. There is one extra kicker if you are in property and you're buying second homes to rent out, buy-to-lets, that type of thing, is that the stamp duty on those houses at the moment is 3%. From tomorrow, it goes up to 5%. So that's an immediate tax increase on second homes, buy-to-lets, etc. And then the final one that I wanted to just briefly mention is the plan that they've had in there for a while, that to bring in VAT on school fees. That's going ahead. From January, there will be VAT on school fees. At the moment, there's no real planning around that in terms of what you can do to mitigate it, but anything that does come out, of course, we'll let you know. So, a couple of actions for you now. First of all, the NI calculator difference is down below, so jump on that, put your salaries in, work out what your NI differences are. And the second thing is, as more detail comes out, hopefully we'll have the detail by early next week, and we're putting on a live webinar next Tuesday. Link is down at the bottom of this email. Join the link. It's going to be more of a Q&A chat type webinar, so you can get on there, ask any questions that you want. If I know the answers, I'll let you know the answers on the webinar, because I bet if you've got a question, there'll be other people who have the same question. So, in summary, not the best budget in the world, but a lot better than the press were having us believe before it came out. Speak to you soon.